Ekaro, new light, new day. Greetings to everyone. Cabo, welcome to the Underground Spiritual Game. Episode 6, The Business of Ifa. I'm Baba Chief Priest. Kindly like, follow, share, drop a comment. Ekaro. Let me know that you're present. Happy Oshe Ogun today. Ogunye, Moye. It is Ogun who's drink till he is satisfied and eat till he is full and throw the calabash against the tree. May the blessings of wealth come now. The gatekeeper of the room has slept off. The gatekeeper is nothing but a cripple. Ogunye, Moye. Aburu, Buye, Vishishe, Agbo, Ato, Osori, Refum, greetings. Diana, greetings, EI9D, greetings, Ogun is a truthful Risha. Ogun, he that kills in the house and kills in the farm. Ogun has two machetes, one to cut grass, the other to make marks. It is Ogun who's of Ire, who eats dog, Ogun of Ikola, who eats snails. Ogun also accepts ram for offering. Wood carvers give Ogun sap from the tree. Ogun has water, but bathes in blood, have clothes, but wear palm from. Ogun ye, Mo ye, happy Oshe, Ogun day. Greetings, Sister June. Greetings. It is Ogun who Ire is not really his home, but he just stopped because he wanted palm wine. It is Ogun. It is that energy of Ogun. They say Ogun. His road to the house of Ogun in a room is paved with gold. It is made with plenty riches. It is Ogun who owns the unsightful house in a room, meaning that Ogun may be bloody, but it is definitely abundance in Ogun. Ogunye don't play fight with Ogun because Ogun is not smiling. I say why I say over to my rib. So being that this is Ogun Day, we salute Ogun and Aboru Boye Bobo Awo. I salute all the traditionalists as well. Aboru Boye Bobo Awo. Eyamboru Boye Koyaku Aboru Boye Bobo Awo. You know, that is a song that says that if you are traditionalist, Awo, Iya Nifa, Olarisha, just here, present, we salute you. And it said, those who salute, those who honor, and give blessings to those will also receive blessings and will live a long life. So I say, why I say over to my rib. It is our J we greet first. It is our J we praise early in the morning, even before we greet the elders. Arumala, Ajay Karo, Ajay Olokun. Yes, happy Ifa, happy Yoruba New Year. Also, happy it's the new year. Yes, I believe it was yesterday, the new year for the Ifa calendar. So happy new year to everyone. The young become elders and the elders become useful again through IJ. IJ, you the one who we salute upon rising. You are the one we salute upon waking. IJ, you are the one we salute upon daybreak because IJ, you give us the purpose. You give us fulfillment. You give us satisfaction. I say, you are the one who brings fulfillment and satisfaction. You are the one who give us Ire Bobo. Aj, you are the one who give us all good things. Aj, let us have you in our hands. Do not let us have you around our necks. Do not let us have you as debt, but let us have you as credit. Let us have you as a token for us to receive that all good things. Aj, make our home in the midst of prosperity, make our surroundings the culture of abundance. Aj, we have wakened. You have wakened in goodness today. So greetings, everyone. Irebo Bo, all good things, all blessings. So the title of the message that I want to speak about was the business of Ifa. The business of Ifa. And I'm going to speak from the Odu, Ògúndá Màsàá, and in the Orisa that is going to be discussed today. We're going to be dealing with Obatala. When it comes to the business of Ifa, there's it's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of misunderstanding when people outside the tradition. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up by the manipulation or get caught up by what we call that propaganda express that you see from Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, whatever wood it is. It's a lot of propaganda when it comes that put a negative image on the tradition. And so for a lot of people, they don't really understand the tradition. They don't understand Ifa business. They don't understand the business of Ifa because it's either the only thing they may think of is you're doing evil, you're doing quote unquote witchcraft, you doing something, you doing harm. And that's what the general information that's out there. And sometimes this is a veil that's supposed to probably be erected. Because for us to come to this tradition, often, most of the time, it's our ancestors that going to guide us here. Because typically, just coming up, growing up in this world, a lot of things that we see, we hear, is going to lead us away from this tradition. It's just simple, because the the visions that we see, we not really going to know the business of Ifa. We're not going to know Ifa business. When it comes to those, even within this culture, within this tradition, sometimes we don't really fully understand Ifa business. You know, we have something. Well, sometimes people say one Ifa the same, and that could be the case. The system, the divining method, but all the business, Ifa business is solidified and codified, and there's no difference. It is one. Whether or not we understand what's the business of Ifa is another story. Because often we feel like if we just going to the root man, we going to the Babalawo, we trying to get something done, we trying to get a situation done, and it happens. So we feel like we know the business of Ifa. But that's not really, because what happens is often it's a fix, and then we have to do a refix, and refix, and it's a constantly no stability, no structure, and nothing that is rooted. And that is the thing. One thing I learned about this tradition by traveling, going many places, we know that Ifa, Ifa is rooted in Ire. It is rooted in blessings. It is rooted in good fortune, no doubt. Abaruboye Wushishe, Agbo Ato Soro Refun. May your blessings be answered. May your blessings be heard. You, everything typically Normally, when you go visit someone of a Isheshe practitioner, they're gonna take you to the shrine. They're gonna bless you. So no doubt that this tradition is rooted on good fortune. It is rooted on E-Ray, which is good things in many different levels. It is rooted in, as we know so well, the culture of abundance. But what is the business of Ifa? Because we say it all the time. Ifa brings abundance. Ifa brings prosperity. Ifa brings wealth. Ifa brings Irebobo. But that does not let us know what's the business of Ifa. The business of Ifa is definitely rooted in sacrifice. It is rooted in sacrifice in every form. Understanding the things that what we have to behavior wise as well as ritual wise to connect with our Ori. So just like how we say that Christians, Muslims, often people, they think of Ifa, well, it's not Christian, it's not a major religion, so it doesn't have any structure, it doesn't have anything that I could just be as I please, do what I want. But that's not the case because the Ifa has a business, and it's the business of Ifa. We say it all the time in our prayers where we speak and we say that we cannot practice Ifa business without being recognized. It is Ogumo who authorized us to be given recognition. So let people send people from the front and let those send many more people from the back. You cannot practice Ifa business without being recognized. And that is true because for one, you should be beyond blessed. For one, you should be living in the culture of abundance. For one, you should be telling people, join us, join me in the midst of prosperity. Because if I bring those things, because when we focus on the business of Ifa, all these things happen. So there's many forms of Ire. Ire Aj, the Ire of wealth, of abundance, fulfillment. The Ire of Ayah, the Ire of compatible spouse. The Ire of Omo, the Ire of productive children. The Ire of victory over enemies. There's many forms of blessing that Ifa brings, which we call the fruits of the tradition. But the chief blessings of the chief Ire, the Odu speaks of. It says, Irire Aku Bale Oro. It says longevity is the greatest array. Longevity. But for us to have longevity, Ifa, the business of Ifa has always been stability. The business of Ifa has always been structure because fortune cannot last without stability. Longevity is not just the chief Ire for nothing because the business of Ifa is stability, is structure. No one can maintain and hold on to good things without being stable. And with this stability, it comes behavior patterns, cultural patterns, and having that spiritual understanding of the Orishas in these spiritual principles. Not to say that the Orisha is not going to move without having that stability, and the Orisha is not going to move without having that structure. But Ireaku, longevity, would never remain. Stability, maintaining that fortune would never remain. That's why it's always big on about the things that we say, because what we focus on let us know if we stable or not. If we focusing on others more or focusing on negativity more, that just bring to us whether or not the level of stability that we have. In Ògúndá Màsàá, it says, Opopo kahun-kahun, the Awo of Egba land. Arira kahun-kahun, the Awo of Ijesa land. These are the Babalawos of these lands. Ifa declares that it make them strong. Ifa declares that it makes them secure. Ifa has to bring that strength. When we say building out of chaos, creating out of destruction, fully capable of dealing with all our challenges, we need to understand that this is the real world. So challenges going to come. But if I give us that root for whatever coming, that we able to conjure up the energy to respond to our challenges. Because it goes on to say, like the holy tree that is the riverside. It says like the holy palm tree that is on the riverside, continually nourished. One of the ways that we remain stable is by continually nourishing ourselves. That's why we speak about intellectual integrity, what we feed our mind, these things that we allow that cause the negativity, that cause the self-doubt. It says, like the holy palm tree that is on the riverside, continually being nourished. When it wakes up in the morning, it makes other forest trees its companion. One thing about being rooted, and as we know, when we see a tree, a oak tree, a palm tree that is solid, it holds down the environment. It brings shade. It attracts birds. It attracts squirrels. It attracts animals. It says when it wakes up in the morning, the holy palm tree on the riverside, it makes others forest trees its companion. Ifa said it makes them strong. Ifa says it makes them secure. This is what Ifa declaration to Olayemi. Olayemi, wealth befits me. Offspring of Orisa Igbo, he who controls the day. Orisa Igbo, that's the great Orisha. It say, I propose to be blessed with wealth. I propose to be blessed with children. I propose to be blessed with all the good things in life. Orisa Igbo, please accept my proposal. I submit my requests. These are the things that I should have in Ifa, with being stable, with being secure. These energies will not only move for me, but they will begin to move through us. It is the proposal of Alagemo, the chameleon, the owner of the chameleon, that Orisa Igbo upholds. So what this Odu is speaking about, it says that there was a time when Olayemi, the offspring of Ashobo, who controls the day, that's the great Orisha, he was passing through a time when things was being unstable, when the road was being slippery for him. It wasn't smooth. He desired wealth. He desired Ire, Aj, wealth. He desired a spouse, uh, a compatible, a compatible partner. He supplies support, which what we would say ire, aya. He desired productive children, spiritual children, physical children. He wants some more support, productivity from these, which we would call ire or mo, and the other good things in life. He wanted all these good things in life, ire bobo. But his path wasn't steady. And at times when he's seen a little progress, you know, and trouble will come right behind it. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. And we know that's that energy of Eshu. And it wouldn't last. And then things would turn upside down. He also wanted that mental peace and comfort, which he couldn't have because he was dependent and looking at and comparing himself and linking his destiny with other people, with other things, because he wanted all these things, but he couldn't have it because they say that the tribulations around him disturbed him and his confidence began weak. So because of this, Olayemi, which is wealth befits me, he went for an Ifa consultation and he wanted to know whether what was wrong, why he couldn't have Ireyaku, or why he couldn't have longevity, steadiness, or why when things came, it wouldn't stand. And when will he receive these things that he want? The owl told him that everything could be resolved. Ifa brings blessings. One thing that this tradition is founded on, it is founded on a positive mindset. It is founded on inspiration. Because regardless, when you go get an Ifa consultation, and if it comes out that it could be negative or something could be off balance, it will show you what it takes to get back on track. There's no other tradition or spirituality like this. Anything else, you're going to be condemned. So they come with the propaganda to fool you because now we don't really know what Ifa business is. So he said everything would be good if you act properly, if you make the best moves. He assured the Babalawo, assured Olayemi that Obatala will bless him greatly. And when he make the right ebo and propitiate Obatala, he said you have to make the right ebo. One thing when we talk about making ebo, when we speaking about sacrifice, because sacrifice is the foundation of Ifa and it coincides with the business. Because for you to be in Ifa business, you have to do some form of sacrifice. So when people scared of the sacrifice, or when people self-doubt of the sacrifice, it only shows a lack of commitment. Because the sacrifice is nothing but a pike. The ebo and the offerings, whether the physical offerings or whether the actions that we have to sustain from, or whether the ritual actions offerings themselves, it pays testament to our commitment. He said his adversaries will come to an end and longevity will return to his life. He said, you have to offer 16 snails, shea butter, 16 white native chalk, 16 cola nuts, and a bundle of white cloth and money. Right? We like, okay, now we getting into it. What is the 16 snails for? What do snails represent? 16 now is a complete number because with 16, we know in Ifa there's only 16, there's 16 major Odus. But these snails, they represent comfort, smoothness. The shea butter. What do you put shea butter? Why we put shea butter on our skins? To restore, restoration. He's saying you need smoothness. You need to be more, it's going to comfort you. We're going to restore you. He said, get 16 chalks. This is an offering now. Purity, sacred order, right? Obatala and cola nuts. If you don't know, cola nuts have strong ashe. And then he say, money. Now, this is what gets everybody when it comes to the money. Because for one thing, if you're not stable, money is a big thing, right? If you're not stable, Owo, Aj, Junior, sibling, Owo, which we refer to as money, is a big thing when you're not stable, right? So, but what does money represent in any offering? Money represent commitment, energy exchange. Money gonna be dedicated to your commitment because anything you put money in, you're gonna be committed to, unless you ain't gonna be dealing with no money, unless ain't no money is changing hands. He was also said that he had to perpetuate Obatala, perpetuate Obatala. We know Obatala represents mental clarity. You have to have a clear mind in Ifa. Obatala represents meditation, a form of patience. They say Obatala is, if you don't know your Orisha, Obatala is your Orisha. If you never find out your Orisha, Obatala is your head Orisha, because Obatala is he who owns the head. They say to go to war with Batala is to lose your wits. When you see people out here, they seem like they've been hit in the head, or they got some screws loose. In the tradition, we like to say that a Batala done hit them in the head and loosen their screws. So it is a Batala who, they say Batala goes to sleep, go to sleep in the white cloth, wakes up in the white cloth, go about town in the white cloth, conduct this business in the white cloth. It is Obatala who brings this mental clarity. It is Batala who give us, who lighten the path towards our destiny. So it's only a must that for us to have the stability and the nourishment that we honor Obatala. So he gathered all the materials and then he perpetuated Batala just like he was instructed. They say that he treated the matter very, very, very seriously. He understood that he was not just asking for blessings, but he was asking for longevity of those blessings. After this, they say he did everything. They say his life began to settle. They say the tribulations and things that was eating him up inside, the things that was keeping him up late at night, all of them began to leave because he began to become stable in Ifa. Ifa began to bring him that stability. He said that his paths grew stronger, more secure, and the blessings he asked for begins to manifest. That was how Olayemi, after offering a bow, perpetuating Obatala, received the blessings that he requested to live with strength and stability. The business of Ifa has always been stability. The business of Ifa stands on. It stands on structure. You the things that the rituals and everything that we do around Ifa, it is founded on the stability. It is founded on the structure. We say Ifa brings prosperity. Prosperity can't stay without stability. So you can look around and see sometimes it's been made cool these days to be in the mad dash. It's been made cool these days to sound chaotic. Understand that is at war with Ifa. It is cool these times now for us to, for people now to begin to, to feel like that, okay, that they don't have to take nothing serious. They can flip it, change their mind like it ain't nothing. That's okay. We all become enlightened. But let's understand when we begin to gossip about others, we begin to spend more attention on others than we do ourselves. That only shows our stability. When we begin to fear others, this person, that person, and then we show it every day. We talk about it, we preach about it, and then now we more focus on what others are doing or how others can affect us. It only show our lack of stability. It only shows that lack of stability. Because once we stable and secure off these principles of the Orishas, off the forces of nature, every Orisha has support for us to be stable. Whether it's Shango, which teaches us about being caring, which teaches us about being courageous, whether it's Oya, who teaches us that change for something to happen, change must occur. Sometimes an eruption must happen. But these rishas teach us how to be rooted in stability. And then that allows them to move, open unseen doors, mentally, spiritually, and physically, for us to be able to enjoy the fruits of the tradition. So as we close, let us remember that the business of Ifa business is one of Ireaku. It is one of longevity, which is rooted in being stable. That stability, the ability for us to be secured on who we are, standing on what we believe in. And when we talk about intellectual integrity, what we feed our minds, we we came to this earth with our highest destiny already chosen, already laid out. What we feed our minds determine whether or not we're going to reach that blessing. So when we hear these people speaking about baptism, speaking about being born again, and all these things, we understand that if we was baptized and if we are saved, our salvation coming from knowing that we chose to be here. And once we align with that with our inner head, once we align, we will surely get there. But that is the business of Ifa, being stable and having that stability. I say, like always, thank everyone that's uh, came and contributed. Like always, we salute Aruma La, Iba, Aruma La, Ajana, Korean, Kukuru, Oke, Okiti, Ilaria Pin, the smallest Baba. We salute you. We salute Eshu, the stone bearer, the Risha Avenger, the great fighter, the dark skinned man on the outside, the smallest Baba, Eshu, to hold on to one Ire, one must salute Eshu, to hold on to one stability, one must salute Eshu, one must pay attention to the small things in life, one must not take this life for granted, one must be able to master the art of communication, for one to hold on to all the good things. One must give his shoe his due. Gegele, if death is coming for us, please place us on top to overcome it. Gegele, if affliction is coming for us, please place us on top to overcome it. Gegele, if confusion, disruption, instability, if all these things are coming, please place us on top to overcome it. Gegele. But if wealth is coming, prosperity, abundance, please carry us there to claim our blessings. The day we see EB, the day we see any form of negativity is the day it will disappear. The day we see E-Ray is the day it will be accepted. Ojori bini bi wole, ejori rainy ray day. Acceptable, rootable, acceptable. Everybody to say. To. I say why I say Olodumare. Iyami olokun abiomo re olokun abiomo yidi. Iyami olokun abiomo re. Ìyá mi ó lọ́kùn, ìyá mi ó lọ́kùn, àbíọmọ gidi. And like always, we salute our J for bringing us and letting us stay within that culture of abundance because we are the masters of our destiny, the architects of our future. We are fully equipped to deal with all our challenges, fully equipped because we build out of chaos. We create out of destruction. Our confidence is our strongest weapon. We don't look, and our emotional maturity is unparalleled. We don't look for trouble, but if it comes, we deal with it decisively because we pray that there any distractions. If it's any distractions, let it be distracted. We pray that if it's any distractions that's coming our way, please distract us. Make it have a schedule. Make it have an issue that it can have to resolve before it comes to us. I say, because we are of the warrior priesthood. We live life spiritually and physically, and we approach life physically and spiritually. Ashe Edumare. So blesses everyone. Cabo, I wish you all strength, good health, and the abundance of wealth. Because, like always, the road is open.